Hello everybody and welcome back to Random Vids. So last week I did a video talking about how my channel was triggering, and in that video I was talking about Mario Party 9 and how a lot of the mini games that I chose for the worst and best list, I just don't really agree with a lot of those anymore. And my opinion, even though it's only been 2 years ago since I have done those, my opinions have definitely changed on the minigames. And because recently I ranked every single Mario Party the top 100 minigame, I decided to do the same with Mario Party 9 and rank every single Mario Party 9 minigame. So I hope you all enjoy, and let's get to my absolute least favorite minigame from Mario Party 9, and that is Bombard the King Bombard. So let me introduce you to probably the absolute worst gimmick out of any Mario Party. I don't even know what you want to call it. Luck 2.0? Luck on steroids? I don't know what you want to call it. Basically, you have to click a button and pray to God that none of the other players around you also click that same button, or else you won't throw the bomb at King Bob-omb. This has got to be one of the absolute worst gimmicks out of any of the Mario parties. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't mind some of the luck minigames. Some luck minigames can actually be kind of fun. But when they change luck to make it like this, it's just downright annoying. And honestly, the battle itself isn't really that fun. You just throw bombs at King Bob-omb. Big whoop. This minigame is just... I don't know why they decided they were gonna do a stupid gimmick like this. And because of that, this is my absolute least favorite minigame from Mario Party 9. Number 79, Womp Stomp. Remember what I was just talking about from the last minigame? Well, guess what? That gimmick is also in this minigame. Oh yeah, because that's totally what I wanted to see, and not just one, but two boss minigames. I don't know why this is a gimmick in the first place. Pick a random one and pray to God that no one else picked it? There's no strategy to these. They're just luck, and they're so dumb. Because you have no idea what the computer players or other players are going to pick, so it's just random every time, and it can get extremely annoying when you're constantly the one smashed and lose a whole round of Mario Party just because of this stupid minigame. Yeah, I don't know why Mario Party 9 has some of these odd minigames to begin with, but whatever. This gimmick is horrible. The only reason why it's better is because it's a little more interesting than just throwing bombs. But unfortunately, they had to bring that gimmick back in every Mario Party game afterwards. It's in Super Mario Party. It's unfortunately in Mario Party Jamboree. I don't understand what Nintendo thinks is so cool about this gimmick. It's horrible, and it's easily the second worst minigame of Mario Party 9. Number 78, Mecha March. And then there's the Bowser Jr. minigames. I don't know why Mario Party 9 took out 2v2 and added Bowser Jr. minigames, but here we are. Most of the Bowser Jr. minigames are pretty easy, honestly, but Bowser Jr. must have been tired of the easiness and just put himself on, difficulty in this minigame. You have to shake your Wii remote, oh, fun, to try to get to Bowser Jr., and Bowser Jr. moves pretty darn fast, and if you're with a computer player, expect to lose. It's another one of those dumb minigames. I don't understand why they would make a minigame this ridiculous. It's not even that fun to begin with. You just walk down a hole and catch Bowser Jr. Big whoop. And the fact that Bowser Jr. is just so fast, it's almost impossible to catch up to him. This minigame sucks. Number 77, Tackle Takedown. I feel like I've talked about this minigame 5 billion times now at this point. But that's because it's in Mario Party Top 100 and Mario Party Superstars. It's such a dumb minigame. It's one of those ones I feel like I lose every time, whatever side I'm on. And the minigame is just way too quick too. It's a boring, and it's easily the worst 1v3 minigame. Hopefully this is the last time we'll have to talk about this horrible minigame. Number 76, Bowser Jr. Breakdown. Man, talk about one of the bosses just being simply roll the dice and pray to God that you have enough to defeat Bowser Jr. It's that hilarious. Wow. I can't believe that they took one of the boss minigames and just turned it into rolling the dice. It's just such a lazy minigame, and the minigame goes on forever, too. It's a dumb, almost another stupid luck minigame at this point, just because you don't really know what you're going to roll. Yeah, this minigame's pretty bad, and another just lazy boss battle. What is it with the Bowser Jr. 1v3 and boss minigames being just so meh in this Mario Party? Like, really? They really succeeded in the 4-player, and that's about it. Number 75, Goomba Village. Oh, and here's another fun luck minigame where you just pray to God that the house you pick has the most Goombas. It's simple, it's horribly annoying, and it's just one of those minigames that's not fun to play. Like I said, some luck minigames can be fun, but this one is just not fun at all. You just pick a house and you hope for the best. Like, it's really dumb. I don't know why we're still having these luck minigames. Like, come on. Number 74, Pair of Aces. You push one button and you hit Bowser Jr. I know, it's that simple. And then you can push another button to block his throws. It's another short, stupid minigame. I said this once, I'll say it again. I don't know why they took out the 2v2 minigames to add Bowser Jr. minigames. They're the most stupidest pieces of crap ever. Like, really? Number 73, Block and Roll. Oh boy, this is one of those minigames where I feel like anytime I play it, usually I lose. Like, it's that horrible. I don't know why. This is just one of those minigames where I feel like if I'm on the one side, the computers will randomly act like super smart and throw the boulders right on top of you. However, if I'm on the 3 side, all of a sudden the computers are dumb and they just let the player on the bottom get away with it. Like, it's just such a broken minigame. It's so horrible. It's another bad 1v3 minigame, and it's a very unbalanced 1v3 minigame too, so, yep. Still at these bad minigames. Let's hope it gets better from here. Number 72, Card Smarts. Basically a worser version of Scum. You just pick a card and hope that you have the highest card, and that's about it. Your goal, just like Scum, is to get rid of your pile. Unlike Scum, though, it's a lot harder to get rid of your pile because sometimes the players, or computers, whoever you're with, pick a card higher than you at the last minute. It's just such a confusing, odd minigame. It's not the worst, but it's definitely one of the weaker minigames in Mario Party 9. Number 71, Peer Pressure. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before, but back in the day I used to like this minigame just because I thought it was pretty cool. As time went on, though, I definitely grown to dislike it just because it's boiling it down, say it with me, another luck minigame. You just reel in the fishing rod and you pray to God that you get the cheap and not the spiky cheap. It's just a boring, slow mess of a minigame, your typical luck one, and yeah, it's not that fun. Number 70, Loggerheads. I don't know why, but this is just a minigame that I was never really fond of, and the more I play it, the just more meh it gets. I don't know, I just think it's a little bit of a meh minigame overall. It's one of those ones that's just not for me. You hold the B button and swing down on the wood, but you want to avoid the bombs and you just hold in the A button. It's just eh. It's nothing that interesting. It's just okay. Okay at best. Number 69, Plunderground. I don't know. This one has never just been one of my favorites. You just watch the chest and you get it. Another one of those cliche minigames that are just kind of meh, where you just watch and you hope you get the right one. It's just a meh minigame overall. Not one of my favorites, but not the worst either. I do like the music. I will say that. Number 68, Piano Pool. And here we have another very odd minigame. This one, we're just in the era now with the awkward controls. I know the Wii is obsessed with the motion controls, and you can definitely tell with stuff like Mario Party 8. Luckily with Mario Party 9, not every minigame is motion controls. And the ones that are motion controls, for the most part, feel very, like, fun to use. They feel very, I don't know what the word is, but satisfying, I guess, is the word to say. They're fun to use, they're easy to use. But this one, it's just very odd and awkward. Sometimes, if you move the controller way too much, you will go in the opposite direction. It's one of those patient type of minigames. And it can get old if you don't get the hula hoop. It's another one of those minigames that I just kind of lose in sometimes just because I end up not being able to grab the hula hoop because the controls are so awkward. Number 67, Magma Mayhem. You just push people off the platform and you win. It's a pretty simple minigame. Not horrible, but definitely not one of my favorites either. Number 66, Spike and Span. Alright, at least this is a somewhat better 1v3 minigame. basically the person on the bottom just pushes the spike balls toward the other people. It almost kind of reminds me of the minigame from the new Mario Party Jamboree. I forget what it's called, but it does have spikes in it, so it does kind of remind me of it. Not a bad minigame, but not one of my favorites either. Number 65, Bumper Sparks. And here we have another awkward controlling minigame. At least it's not quite as obnoxious as Piano Pull, but it's still just a very meh minigame overall, and it's over pretty quickly. Number 64, Sand Trap. And here we have another Bowser Jr. minigame. This one, you basically just have to ground pound the sand, and eventually it'll destroy bits of the sand. With a player, this minigame is fine. With a computer, this minigame is pretty annoying because the computer never wants to do the same block that you want to do. It's always on a different page, so it's pretty annoying, and it's just another typical Bowser Jr. minigame. Big whoop. Number 63, Cage Match. Basically, trap Bowser Jr. and you win. Another pretty simple Bowser Jr. minigame. Hope you enjoy. Number 62, Crossfire Caverns. Just shoot and pray that you hit Bowser Jr. And that's the minigame. Also, try not to hit your rivals because it takes forever for them to get unstunned, I guess the word is. I don't know. It's another just typical Bowser Jr. minigame. At least it's a little more interesting than the others that we talked about. Number 61, Double Pounder. Just ground pound the same color, and you'll get these platforms that will lead you to Bowser Jr. It's probably the most easiest minigame in the world. It's probably the easiest minigame. That's all I really have to say. It's there. I don't really have words for it. Number 60, Zoom Room. This one is almost kind of like the cage one, except because it's a maze, it's a lot bigger. And the rules are just the same. You just capture Bowser Jr., or I should say trap him, and you win. It's another very easy Bowser Jr. minigame. Number 59, Blooper Brigade. Just shoot the A button and you hit the blooper. It's a little more interesting than one of those boss ones that I talked about. It's better than the Bowser Jr. one where you just click the A button and hit blooper, but it's another just simple minigame. And that's all there is to it. Number 58, DK's Banana Bonus. You're basically just shooting yourself out of barrels to hit a bunch of bananas. It's as simple as it sounds. It gives you some coins, so I guess that's pretty nice, but it's just overall a little too simple of a minigame. I think that's a big problem with a lot of the boss minigames. They're just way too simple, and they could have more depth into them. Number 57, Diddy's Banana Blast. Same as the DK one, except now this time you're in a circle trying to shoot into other cannons. It's a little more interesting and has a little more depth into it than just simply shooting up, but it's one of the, I guess, more decent boss minigames, but it's nothing too crazy. Number 56, Deck Dry Bones. Just pick the right card and you get to hit him. It's another pretty simple boss minigame. A little better than some of the other ones we talked about, but that's about it for that. Number 55, Cheap Shot. You grab the shells and you throw it at the Cheap. It's pretty simple. This minigame almost kind of reminds me of the new one from Jamboree, where you have to collect shells and throw it at the, whatever his face is, the big snake-like thing. The only difference is that one is more engaging and interesting, where this one you just swim and grab shells. So it's not a bad boss minigame, but comparing it to a lot of the other minigames, it's just okay. Number 54, Sock It to Like It To. This one you just hit the block and you hope you get the bullet bills and not the spikes. This one at least is a little more in-depth opposed to just pushing one single button, but it can get annoying if you don't get the bullet bills and all you get is the spikes for the whole round. So this just turns into another just kind of luck minigame. Definitely a better luck minigame than the ones we've been talking about, but it's just average overall. Number 53, Ringleader. So now we've gotten back to the awkward control minigames. You put your controller on the ground, and then you go up really high for the gold ones, and then up somewhat high for the red ones. I'm glad the Switch motion controls are at least better than these weird Wii controls. It's not a horrible minigame, but it can definitely be a little awkward to control. You have to play it a certain amount of times to get a feel for it. Number 51, Tumble Temple. Just run around and hope you don't get hit by the spikes. It's another pretty simple minigame. It's not bad, but it's definitely not as good as some of the others either. Number 50, Twist Ending. Here we have another awkward motion control type minigame. You have to turn your Wii remote to the side to get it to be able to spin. Sometimes it'll stop when you want it to, and other times it'll just keep going. So the goal is you want to go fast enough, but not too fast to bypass it. It's one of those minigames I lose on a lot, and by a lot, I mean basically every time I play this minigame, so, I mean, that can only be fun for so long. So controls are a little awkward, so, The best thing about this minigame is probably the music. Number 49, Fungi Frenzy. Ground pound the item boxes and get mushrooms. It's another pretty simple minigame. Nothing else I really have to say. Number 48, Ballistics. You stand on the platform and avoid bullet bills. Kind of like Tumble Temple, but a little more interesting. Number 47, Pit or Platter. So this one's another one of those motion control type minigames where you have to hold your Wii remote nice and still enough for the little ball to hit the light up arrows. But you don't want to move it too fast or else the ball will fall off. This one really depends on how good you really are at the motion controls. And I'm not really a perfect person at motion controls, especially the Wii ones, but this one isn't half bad, and it can be really fun if you're really good at it. I feel like one of those people who's kind of in the middle, because this minigame sometimes I do really good on, and other times I do really bad on, and I end up losing right away because the ball falls all the time. It's not a bad minigame, but it's not the best either. Number 46, Bombarge. So kind of like ballistics, but you can actually push the bombs off. Obviously you can't do that with the bullet bills, but it makes it a little more interesting, although it's just another one of those try not to be the first one to get blown up or whatever type of minigame. It's not bad, just not one of my favorites. Number 45, Hazard Hold. So the one person pushes a bunch of buttons, and the three people try to avoid everything. It's another one of those pretty simple minigames, and that's about it. Number 44, Ruins Rumble. Try to avoid the one person in the big spiky machine, and you'll win. It's almost kind of like 2-Bit or Lose It, but worse, in a way. Number 43, Mob Sleds. So this one's kind of like Ruin Rumbles, but the rules reversed. Instead of you going after the three people will go after you. What makes this minigame more interesting is that the three people have a pathway they have to go on. So it can make it pretty interesting. And overall, this is definitely one of the better 1v3 minigames. Number 42, Weird Wheels. These type of minigames always are very hit or miss. Sometimes they can be really fun, other times just okay, other times they're annoying. This one is one of those cases that I think that it's just okay. It works. It's nothing spectacular or anything, but it works. Number 41, Whole Hogs. Once again, another more interesting 1v3 minigame where you have to hit the players without them scoring a goal. It's almost kind of like a mix-up of Goal from Mario Party 4 as well as Money's Revenge from Mario Party 7. Kind of interesting the way it works. Number 40, Bowser Pop. So this one is definitely one of the better Bowser Jr. minigames, because you're actually on a conveyor belt trying to pop all the balloons. This one, I don't know, it's kind of satisfying trying to get all the balloons. I mean, it's stupid easy, but it's still fun. I mean, I'm expecting all the Bowser Jr. minigames to be pretty easy anyway, so, besides the very first one, but it's overall a pretty decent minigame. It's one of the better Bowser Jr. ones, and it kind of reminds me of that one minigame from Mario Party 6, where you do kind of the same thing, but get coins. Number 39, Pedal to the Paddle. I think that's what it's called. So, this minigame is actually more in-depth, where you and the computer, or whoever you're with, has to jump on the thing to make it, I don't even know what you want to call it, the little Ferris wheel thing to get ahead of Bowser Jr. Another pretty easy minigame, but at least this one gives you more to do. And I feel like I'm not being paid for having a computer play with me. Like, the computer player actually knows what they're doing, for the most part. Even if not, it's an easy fix. And in my opinion, this is probably the best Bowser Jr. minigame. Number 38, Wiggler Bounce. You jump on the Wiggler, make him mad, and you win. It's another one of those minigames where I feel like I kind of lose in a lot, but at least this one is more interesting than some of those other ones. You actually have to go and ground pound the Wiggler, which makes it pretty interesting. And the orange little star thingies are more points. It's more interesting than some of the other boss minigames, although it's still not one of my favorites. But at least it's finally a better boss minigame. Number 37, Bowser's Block Battle. So yeah, we have another minigame just dealing with dice, but this one's actually a lot more interesting. Bowser gives you a bunch of dice blocks to throw, and you have to turn them into your picture. And whoever gets the most will end up, hitting Bowser the most. It's almost kind of like the Dry Bone one, just more fun. And you gotta watch out for the Bowser things too. Basically, this is Bowser Jr.'s minigame, but just actually good. It's definitely one of the better boss minigames. Number 36, Spike Strike. This one you have to click the right hammer in enough time and throw the, I don't know what you want to call them, the spiky balls back at Spike before they crush you. It's a pretty interesting minigame. It can be intense. As time goes on, there's less hammers and more sticks. It's a pretty fun minigame. It's definitely one of the better boss minigames. Number 35, Ballistic Beach. Just shoot the cannonball at the beach balls and try to pop them. It might sound kind of simple, but you actually have to really aim your cannon to shoot, because otherwise it will just go under or over the beach ball. It can be a pretty fun minigame. Number 34, Piranha Patch. Grab the flowers and not the piranhas. It's simple, but it's a pretty good minigame overall. Number 33, Thwomp's Room. Just don't get smashed by the Thwomps. It's pretty simple, but it can also get pretty chaotic at the end too. So overall, it's a pretty good minigame. Number 32, Yorn It. Basically, just click the right vase and hope it's right. This minigame is pretty fun, and it's a pretty easy one too once you get the shapes down. It's a pretty fun one overall, and you gotta love the music. Number 31, Don't Look. So this one can get a little awkward at times, but basically you just don't look at whichever way the arrow is pointing. So this minigame is pretty fun and all, it just gets a little clanky with the Wii remote. So personally, I think the top 100 version is a little better, but this minigame is still fun. Number 30, Polar Extreme. Basically, just race to the boat and try not to fall into the water, or else you'll turn into a big icicle, and it's going to be a little hard to get out of it. This minigame is a pretty fun one overall. It's fun trying to get to the end the fastest. And luckily, when you just fall in the water, you don't immediately die. No, you can actually save yourself, but don't fall into the water too many times, or you will not be able to get back up. Number 29, Manner of Escape. Basically, just get your way to the bottom floor. This minigame can be pretty fun. It's fun trying to go in each individual door and hope that it's right. This can turn into a luck minigame, but it's definitely one of the better luck minigames. Number 28, Pinball Fall. Speaking of luck minigames, this one you pick a pinball and you get to ride a fun slide down. And you better hope you don't be last, or, you're going to get last. I don't know what else to say. But this is another one of those cases where I actually really like the luck to this minigame. It makes it really fun. Like, it's not too annoying like some of the other ones. It just feels like a casual, classic luck minigame, which this is how luck minigames should feel. Number 27, Goomba Spotting. Just count how many Goombas there are. It's pretty simple, but it's actually a really fun minigame, and it's fun trying to get the right amount of Goombas. And I'm really glad to see that it returned in Mario Party Superstars, and it looks amazing in that game as well. Number 26, Jigsaw Jumble. Just put the right puzzle piece on, and you get another puzzle piece, and you get 5 in total, and if you get them the fastest, then you win. It's a pretty fun minigame, although I kind of like Top 100s a little better, just because instead of using the clunky Wii remote, you get to use the stylus instead, which I think is a perfect fix to this minigame. It's not a bad minigame. I do think it's a really good one overall, though. Number 25, Pix Fix. Now, finally, we have a really good balanced 1v3 minigame. This feels like it comes right out of, Super Mario Party, because it's just... Super Mario Party has so many great balanced 1v3 minigames. It also kind of reminds me of Photo Finish from Mario Party 4, and that minigame is really great. But this one's a really good one, too, and it's, once again, like I said, really balanced. Number 24, Chain Chomp Romp. Oh man, this is definitely one of the better, boss minigames. So, all you have to do is just basically follow the track back to the minecart and pick it. Some people might say this is a hard minigame because it scrolls too fast, but honestly, I think that it scrolls perfectly. And basically, all you have to do is just follow one track and it doesn't scroll that fast. Just here talking about this video, I can already tell you which one the golden pipe is. And it ends up being really fun seeing if you can get the cart you want before your rivals, and hope that you don't get the wrong one. It's a really fun minigame, and it's definitely one of the better boss minigames. Number 23, Big Boo's Puzzle Attack. Oh yeah, if it's a puzzle minigame, of course it's going to be higher up. This one, you just match a bunch of items and you hit Boo with them. This one is just so creative, and you want to match all the lightning bolts up, because that's what gets Boo the most damage. This is by far easily the best boss minigame, because it's the most in-depth, and it's definitely the most interesting and most fun. Number 22, Line in the Sand. Make a circle and circle your opponents. It sounds pretty simple, but it's actually really fun, and it can be really balanced too. The people obviously are in a little pit, but they can run away pretty fast. And with the wonky Wii remotes, it makes for a pretty balanced 1v3 minigame. And in my opinion, I think it's the best 1v3 minigame in Mario Party 9. Number 21, Buddy Bounce. Man, the very first minigame this high up, that must mean we're in for a good time. And that's true, because I really do think there's a lot of really great minigames in Mario Party 9. It's simple, you just collect the most points. It almost kind of reminded me of the balloon minigame from the Bowser Jr. thing, but this is just much better. And you bounce on people's heads opposed to a platform. It's a great starting minigame. Number 20, Chain Event. This one can be really fun too, trying to get to the very bottom without hitting the spikes. It's a really fun minigame overall, and it's definitely a top 20 for me. Number 19, Growing Up. Basically, you hit the button that it shows, and whoever hits it the fastest gets the longer vine. This one can get really intense, but also really fun as well. It's a really great minigame, that's for sure. Number 18, Snow Go. Oh yeah, it can't be a Mario Party without a few racing minigames here and there, and Snow Go is a really fun one. Some awkward controls as usual, but it's just your typical fun racing minigame. Number 17, Pizza Me Mario. What's funny is that this is one of the first food-related minigames before food became like a main theme in Mario Party, which is kind of funny. This one is a really fun minigame. It's fun putting toppings on a pizza, and man, just playing this minigame and looking at it makes me hungry. Number 16, Toad and Go Seek. Toad goes in a house, and you have to find which house he goes in. One of my favorite cliches for Mario Party is hide-and-seek type of ones. I love hide-and-seek. It's one of my favorite actual games, so having it turned into kind of a Mario Party minigame is really fun, and you have to pay attention to where Toad went, too. Number 15, Goomba Bowling. Oh man, this one is really fun. You throw the shell, and you try to get as many Goombas as possible. This is definitely one of the best sport-related minigames, and it's just so much fun trying to get as many Goombas as possible. It's so much fun that they turned it into their own single-player minigame in the extra mode. It's just a really fun minigame. I mean, I agree, I may not be the best at it, but hey, it's a fun minigame. Number 14, Speeding Bullets. Well, here's a minigame that the motion controls actually make sense. You know there's a game called Mario Kart Wii, correct? And it uses the same exact controls for this minigame. And they turned that full game into a minigame. It's pretty simple. You tilt your Wii control and you try to avoid the pipes. It can be really fun, and then you have to use the little speed boost to, speed up. It's a really fun minigame, and this version is definitely a lot better than Mario Party The Top 100s, where they chose to keep the motion controls, so then you had to move your whole screen, and it just felt very wonky. Overall, this is definitely one of the best motion control type minigames in Mario Party 9, and it's overall a really good minigame and almost top 10. Number 12, Shell Soccer. Oh man, Mario Party 9 really had its sport minigames really well done, because this one, it's just so much fun, and it's so satisfying trying to get all the Goombas. It's a really easy minigame, but oh man, so satisfying. Unlike some of those other sport minigames like Beach Volley Frolly, where you just hit the ball, this one actually has a lot of depth into it, and it can be a lot of fun. And thankfully it returned in Mario Party Superstars as well. I wonder why, the minigame was just that good. I love it, it's a great minigame, and it's almost top 10. Number 12, Skyjinx. I love these type of minigames where you have to go from point A to point B. This one's really fun, where you have to try to make sure you don't fall off, but it does give you 3 hearts though, so even if you do fall off once, you can, or even twice, you can come back again. but you want to hurry up because the platforms are falling behind you. This one is a really fun minigame, and it can be a fun time. Number 11, Upward Mobility. So, I can't believe I put this minigame as the best back 2 years ago when I did the best minigames. I mean, it's a good minigame, but the best from Mario Party 9? This minigame is basically Leaf Leap, What Goes Up, Awful Tower, you know, some of those other minigames. The only difference is there's a end to this minigame. What made Leaf Leap and What Goes Up so much fun is that there was no end, you could keep going. But this minigame unfortunately has an end. It's still a really fun minigame, but unfortunately the fact that it ends, there's no timer, there's a finish line, kind of defeats the purpose of it. Number 10, 10 to win. I know, it's kind of funny. The number that this one is in the minigame. It's kind of funny. This one, basically, you're on a game show and you're trying to get to the tippy top of the tower. Yes, this is a luck minigame. But this is how you do luck minigames correct. This one is really fun to play. And it doesn't feel too annoying when you lose, just because it feels like you're having a fun, good old time in game shows. I mean, it's just really fun, and of course, you can't forget that catchy music, too. It's a great minigame, and it makes top 10 for me. Number 9, Mecha Choice. I think I mentioned this before, but I liked this minigame so much that I actually built it in Minecraft. Yes, I built it in Minecraft. Not just once, I think I built it like twice or even 3 times. I think it's a really good minigame. I don't think it's my favorite, but it's a really fun minigame trying to pick which door has the right one, and oh, it's another luck minigame, and yet it's this far up? But this one, once again, is just done so well, and it's just so much fun. And what's even better is that there's a minigame almost kind of like this in Mario Party Jamboree, which I really like that minigame too, but this one, it's a classic. I like it a lot. Number 8, Player Conveyor. I think my absolute favorite style of minigames is puzzles. I love puzzle type of minigames, and this one is a big puzzle trying to get to the very end. It's really fun trying to get to the right path, or to the finish line, and trying to find the right path. It's a great minigame, and it makes top 10 for me. Number 7, Launch Break. Oh man, this one's a lot of fun. This is your mashing minigame for this Mario Party. You mash 1, 2, and then you use the Wii remote and shake it back and forth. This minigame is a lot of fun, and you gotta love that energetic music too. Number 6, Bumper Bubbles. Oh man, Bumper Balls but on steroids. This minigame is so much fun. You basically just have to use the Wii remotes and try not to hit the little spike balls. This version's definitely better than Top 100. Since Top 100, you have to move the screen around, since they kept it, you know, motion controls. But for the Wii remote, it works, and it's definitely one of the best motion control type minigames. Number 5, Flinger Painting. This one's really fun, because you have to try to fill out the whole board before everyone else does. Think of Stamp Out from Mario Party 4, but just worse. Number 4, Smash Compactor. You smash the people out of the way, and you try to get down to the bottom before everyone else can. It's simple, but it's a really fun minigame, and I love the little cutscene of the character getting smashed and slowly floating away. Number 3, Castle Clear Out. Of course, one of my favorite minigames is going to be the puzzle minigame. I mean, it's definitely not as fun as something like Stick and Spin or even Block Star, but I still think it's a really good minigame. It's a puzzle minigame. Of course it's going to be really fun. And this is the puzzle minigame from Mario Party 9. It's fun, and it makes top, not just 10, but top 5 for me. Number 2, Skipping Class. Oh man, this minigame is so satisfying. I remember back in the day I used to be bad at it, but now since I'm better at it, the minigame is just so much fun, and just such a joy. I love this minigame so much. It's easily one of my favorite minigames from Mario Party 9, but not quite my favorite. Number 1, Peak Precision. Oh man, just like Skipping Class, but this one you actually have a time limit to work for, or I guess a new goal if you want to call it that. Unlike Top 100 where the buttons are Y and X, this one I know all the buttons on the Wii. I never really learned the Y and X, just because I don't know, I just never really used them that much. And man, this minigame is just so satisfying. I love this minigame, and I can easily call it the best, my favorite minigame from Mario Party 9. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Honestly, Mario Party 9 is just such an underrated game as is. People really, like, poo-poo on it, which I don't think it's horrible. I mean, certainly not my favorite, but as bad as people say it is, no. So yeah, with that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Have a good day.